Okay, welcome back to the third part of the claims process training. So for the first one, we took you through the whole claims process. The second video, we looked at how you're going to access the deceased's folder. And now we need to start looking at what it is that you need to complete with regards to the claim form that belongs to that specific deceased folder. So let's just quickly go back to the folder of the deceased that we've been using as an example. So remember, when you accessed Google Drive, you clicked on the funeral arrangements folder there, and then there was a 2020 folder that you clicked on, and once you've clicked on that, it opens up all the weeks, and then you needed to go to the current week and double click there. And again, just a reminder, these are now all the deceased of all the people within Wisani and NLA for that specific week to that point. All right, so remember I also indicated that at the end of each deceased name, it'll indicate if it's approved or if it's pending. If it's private, for example, that would mean that the person is not does not have a policy, but they would like Wisani or NLA to take the funeral. And then we've also got the pending. I just want to stand still with pending before we move into how to complete the claim form. So if your family has a pending file, just click on it and you'll see there is the claim form as I indicated to you in the previous video. Now to open this claim form, you again just double click on it. And I'm not going to go through this at the moment. What I want to show you is if you want to find out why this specific file is pending, it'll indicate it here under the remarks part of the form. So here it says private, no details on Paul, it's Paul 360, and no ID number. So you will read this, and once the family is in front of you, you will tell them, but look, the family member is not registered on your policy. And then just take it from that family. Maybe they will confirm and say, yes, that's true. You need to handle this as a private funeral. Or they say, no, but they definitely did include the member on their policy. Then ask them if they have any evidence. Maybe they have a copy of the funeral schedule that indicates that the family member is on there. But then just ask them. And then you just need to contact the claims department and also inform them what the family is saying with regards to the remarks that they have been making on this claim form. All right. So that's regarding pending. Please do not leave pending alone. Assist the claim department in trying to find where the specific family member is registered, if registered with Wisani or NLA. All right. And if you close, you just click here on the cross as I've indicated to go back to that specific folder. You're still in there. You can also, if you want to go back to that week, that current week, all you need to do is just click here at the top because it shows you exactly where you are. So it shows me I'm in this folder at the moment. I want to go back to that current week again. Okay. And remember I said we want to work as an example on Elizabeth Mbiza. So I'm going to click on Elizabeth Mbiza, double click to open up. Again, this is now the claim form that has been completed by the claims department. This is the form you now need to open by double clicking on it. And then you're going to read to see what are the benefits that this specific deceased member will get from the policy. You can also print this specific document and then share the information with the family. So how do you go about printing it? Maybe let's just quickly look at that. You see there's a little print icon there. Your printer will now be connected to your computer, so it's going to look a bit different from mine. But let me just click on that print icon. All right. It shows you this is the document that you want to print. If you're happy that this is what it is you want to print, you then just go to next. And there it will show you. You then need to select what printer you want to use to print this document to. And once you've selected that printer, you click on print and it will then print the document for you. That document then you can take and discuss with the family members. I'm going to cancel for now because I'm not going to print. I just want to take you back to what this claim form looks like. Remember, I said that you need to complete the second part of this claim form. So you cannot do anything on this part. You won't be able to change anything here. If I type on it, they'll tell me there was a problem because it's only the claims department that are allowed to complete this part of the claim form. All right, so what's in here? The first thing is the membership number. That's the policy number that the claims department will indicate on here. Then they also need to look to see if there are any duplicate policies, because sometimes when you search on POL 360 for the deceased, you'll find that there is more than one policy number linked to this specific member, and they then need to indicate the information around that under the remarks part, so that we can identify which policy should be used to pay out the benefits. Also, the name of the main member, who is the main member on this policy, and then what plan is the policy member using, and then also when was the policy created, the waiting period, has that been completed, and then also is the customer paid up. These are all the checks that claims department will be doing. All right. So the next section is then the benefits itself. They will then also go in and they'll indicate, yes, this person qualifies for society benefits. What is the coffin that the member qualifies for? The coffin details. And then also, does the customer then qualify for a cash payout? Does the customer have top-up? Is there a grocery voucher involved? Do they want programs? Is there airtime that they qualify for? Fresh flowers across? Do they have a tombstone policy with Wisani or NLA? And then tents and chairs, do they want to use that at their funeral? And this then indicates what the total amount is that the specific family member then will benefit. It also gives you, when you mouse over here, it says here, this is the total cash payout amount, which is the value of all cash benefits combined. So it's cash, top-up, groceries, etc. Okay. So then they would also put in the deceased details. This is the policy details. This is now the deceased details. So what is the membership type of the person that has passed away? In this instance, it's the main member. And then they would also put in the body code, which they received from a control room, the full name of the deceased, the ID number, when the person passed away, where the person passed away, and where the current location of the deceased is. Then also the full name of the person who called in to control room to register the death, as well as what is the relationship of that specific person and the contact number. All right, so if everything has been approved by claims department, they will then also indicate it under remarks that it has been approved. So this is what you will then discuss with your family members sitting in front of you. So remember, I said the second part is that you need to complete. So you've explained the benefits that this family member qualifies for. So the next thing you need to find out from this family, if they would like to upgrade to another casket, or if they want to purchase a tombstone, then you need to complete this second part. Now, this is where you can then indicate if the person wants a coffin, yes or no, you select. If they say yes, for example, you would click on yes here, and then you would put in the coffin's code. You would also say what the amount of that coffin is that they need to pay, the price difference. Maybe they want to use that cash payout. You can subtract that and then also put the receipt number in there. The same for tombstones. So again, you can select if they want to have a tombstone, yes or no. And if it's yes, you also need to indicate all the information on that in this area, the code of the tombstone, the amount the family need to pay for that specific tombstone, and what is the receipt number. So again, you also need to complete the delivery and funeral. Now this should not be new to you, because this is the information you would put in the funeral file as well. So let's just look for that funeral arrangement document. This is all the information that you would also indicate on there. So time to start, name of the deceased, date of delivery, date of funeral, place of funeral. These are all the same information that you've put in there will also now be included on this form. So that should be the same information. All right. And then also, who is the contact person that we need to contact with regards to the family if we want to have any communication with them regarding the funeral arrangements. This is where you put the full name, the cell phone number, and if they have an alternative number, you need to put that in there as well. And then any additional information, this is also very important. So very, very important that you get the correct cell phone number of the person that's going to get the airtime. So you need to put that in there, and then you can also select which service provider is being used. If it's MTN, Vodacom, Cell C, you select that specific service provider. And then also very, very important, like in this instance, we saw that this member that passed away is actually the main member. Now, very, very important for all funeral arrangement officers, when you see that it's the main member that has passed away, please, while the family is sitting in front of you, please ask them to indicate who should be the person that's going to replace that main member. All right? Very, very important. Otherwise, we have a policy for months and months without an indication who the new main member is. So, very important that you ask them immediately when they are there who will be replacing the main member. And then when they say yes, they know who will be replacing, you will click yes. And then the next thing that you need to do, listen, let me just click yes there as an example. You will then have to complete that IDR form, which you all are familiar with. And this IDR form that you've completed also needs to be uploaded to this funeral folder of the deceased. You also then need to indicate, yes, you have completed the IDR form. So a copy will be uploaded to this funeral folder, and you will then send the original to head office so that they can just also double check to see if the new main member has now been registered on PAL 360. Okay. And again, you would then put the inception date of that specific new main member on here as well. All right. And then any directions to how to get to the house or the funeral place, that you can also include here. And then once you have completed this, if you remember, I said in the claims process, the next thing that will happen is the claims department will come back to this document to see if you have completed this. And if they are now happy that everything has been completed, they will then sign it. Both the checkers will be signing it. So Esme will be the first person. You can see that she signed this now, for example. And the second tier checker, that is Nyiku, she also needs to come in so that they double check and make sure that everything is complete. She will also go in here and then sign. You won't be able to sign on her behalf. No one will be able to sign on the checker's behalf. It's only them that will be able to sign this so that we can see that they did actually check these forms. All right. So this is essentially what it entails to complete the funeral claim form. The next video we will be looking at is now the uploading of your funeral file to this folder. All right. Thank you.